Election is set for April 1st. From local news to what's going on around the state, Civic Media's mission is to bring you real news and great conversation. I'm Lisa Hale, 97.9 WGBW News. For news anytime, log on to WGBW.FM.
The Badgers prepare for Purdue. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. Men's college basketball. Big game for Wisconsin tomorrow, taking on number 7th ranked Purdue in West Lafayette. Tip-off at noon. The Badgers have surpassed preseason predictions. Head coach Greg Gard on the Jim Rome Show.
If I'd said to you back then, in the middle of February, you would be in the top 15 or 16, what would you have said?
I would have said our plan has come together in terms of how we wanted to put this roster together, and more importantly, a credit to our players of how they perform.
Marquette on the road at Villanova a week from tonight. The Golden Eagles ranked 18th in the nation. NBA, the All-Star game this weekend in San Francisco. 25 years ago, Damian Lillard's father took him to the All-Star game as a 9-year-old growing up in Oakland.
So now to be, like you said, 25 years later, and this being my 9th All-Star game and kind of back in front of that hometown crowd, it's definitely a special moment.
That's the Bucks' Damian Lillard. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
You can always continue the conversation on social media. Share your thoughts when you find and follow Civic Media on Facebook, X, and Instagram.
With your forecast, I'm Corey Hartman. Snow tonight could be heavy at times. We'll see a low around 19 and about 3 to 5 inches of snow is possible before it wraps up tomorrow. Highs near 30 on your Saturday. Winds will be gusting. Saturday night, another inch or two of snow and windy again.
It's 21 right now.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
when the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
The scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
I'll face a hurricane without meds. Now that's a tough pill to swallow.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older-adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Mino and the Mayor.
Well, I think everybody's been there because he was sitting there for the longest time. So I just gave him a little beep, and it was green.
Yeah.
I could see he was vaping. It was meant on his vaping thing. And then all of a sudden, he rolls his window and gives me the bird. So I'm trying to get his attention so he can see that I'm giving him the finger too, but I couldn't get my window down.
And you wanted to make sure he could see it.
I was waving to him like, hey, hey. Yeah, exactly.
Mino and the Mayor, weekday morning 6 till 9 on 97.9 WGBW and 98.3 and 96.5 WISS. And the Civic Media app.
Let's rock some local music this weekend on Max Inc. Join us as we welcome Kaylin Cole and Lexi Liu, plus Yanni and Rob.
Broadcasting live from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay, this is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood. And now, a guy who does his own stunts, Pete Schwaba.
It's true. All my own stunts. Luckily, I never write stunts into my day, but if I did, I would do them. Welcome to Nite Lite, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. It's kind of a romantic night in Wisconsin just because it is Valentine's Day, but we've got some light, beautiful snow coming down, and it's just a gorgeous winter evening. So welcome to Nite Lite. Wherever you're joining us from, it's great to have you. Glad you could be with us on this night. If you're not out with your special someone, hopefully you're both huddled around the radio. Nothing says romance like just kind of sitting around the radio listening to Nite Lite. Conrad, am I on an island there, or is that's kind of a pretty big night, right?
It's a pretty big night. Feels romantic.
Yeah, I agree. We've got a really fun show tonight. Speaking of romance, we've got our man crush Emerson Lehman is here at 6:20. I don't know if he knows that's how we look at him, but, well, the cat's out of the bag now. Emerson is the morning show host of the WBAY Morning News here in Green Bay. He does a great job. He's got a new show he's going to tell us all about when he drops by in just about 10 minutes. We're going to get started pretty early tonight because we've got a full show. Then one of our other Valentines, Terry BARR, is here. And this is kind of an extra special bar band Friday night, ladies and gentlemen. Terry introduced us to an artist called Kaylin Cole, who is a real up-and-comer. She's a Nashville-based singer-songwriter. She just is phenomenal, and she's bringing a special friend with her tonight. So we'll talk to Kaylin. We're going to talk to Terry. Here's what we're going to do, Conrad. You ready for this?
Bring it.
All right. Emerson at 6:20, Man Crush. Terry BARR at 7:05. We're moving Bar Band up just a half hour to make an extended version of Bar Band Friday night. The second half is going to be a lot of music, folks, and it's going to be fantastic and a great way to kick off your Valentine's Day weekend. So we'll have Terry, one of our Valentines, at 7:05. And then one of our new favorites, Kaylin Cole, will be here in the studio helping us close down the show before she has to run out the door to a gig with her friend Lexi Lou, who will also be with her. They're playing down the street tonight, right down in Washington at the
Black Saddle.
Black Saddle. I can never remember the... Yeah, Black Saddle. Great little venue for music, by the way, if you haven't been there. And they will be playing tomorrow night at Paradise North Distillery. So Kaylin is bringing her musical stylings to Green Bay, and we're lucky to have her, and she's going to drop by the studio. They're going to play a couple tunes and help us close down this Valentine's Day edition of Nightlight. So we've got an extended basically an hour-long segment of Bar Band Friday night. We've got extra time with Emerson. It's going to be a lot of fun. Some of our best friends are here tonight to help us kick off the holiday weekend. And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings us to our question of the night.
Talk about the question.
Okay, question.
Question.
Pregunta.
Question.
Question.
Okay, I have a question. Questions?
This question.
Domanda.
Question.
Questions.
What is your favorite rom-com? How's that one, Conrad?
I already got the answer.
I do too. You go first.
The Princess Bride.
Oh. You know what? I thought I had my answer.
I just changed it up for you, didn't I?
That's literally one of my favorite movies of all time, but my other choice was going to be Groundhog Day, which we've talked a lot about. That is one of my favorite, not just rom-coms, but movies, and same with Princess Bride. There are so many movies like on this show, night to night. I forget half the stuff I've seen, and yeah, Princess Bride, and I'll take that one too. But what's your favorite rom-com, folks? Let us know. 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. Oh, man. You can tell us your favorite scene, your favorite rom-com, your favorite romantic movie. It's Valentine's Day. Let's live it up. And even if you're flying solo tonight on Valentine's Day, there is nothing wrong with that, folks. Join the show and let us be your date for the next couple hours. So you can also text us on the app. It's very easy to use, folks. Download it. We're on statewide, so we've got, you just click on any of the icons next to any of the stations and let us know what you're thinking. Also, the phone lines are open, Conrad. How can people get a hold of us?
Yeah, so if you want to call us at... yeah, okay, 855-752-4842.
I didn't mean to stump you.
I couldn't remember the number.
How should people get a hold of us in the event of an emergency?
All right,
Same number.
Pete, yeah, or we could just list off your phone number right now on the radio.
Give them my cell phone. That won't do a lick of good. But in case of an emergency, you could reach us there. So, fun show tonight. Emerson Lehman's coming up in just a few minutes. Then we've got Terry BARR for Bar Band Friday night. Bumped it up a little earlier this week. That's at 7:05. And then Kaylin Cole and Lexi Lou are in the studio at 7:05. Kind of an extension of Bar Band Friday night because Terry BARR is the gem who introduced us to this up-and-coming singer-songwriter who happens to be in Green Bay tonight. So that'll be fun. You how are you? Have you recovered from the news about Kanye and Bianca?
It's a sore subject for me. You know,
It's tough.
I cried all last night thinking about it.
You know,
but I think I'll live.
It's weird because I woke up I felt like this blanket of depression over me, and I couldn't. Time just has to go by, and then we'll figure out a way to get through this. But I feel very bad for these two. They're obviously soulmates.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. She's getting $5 million, by the way. One-time payment.
That's. I mean, yeah, it works, I guess.
Does it? It's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. Yeah.
But 2 hours of sharing a home with Kanye and having him dress you. The mental stress of that, I don't know. Maybe she should get more. I have no idea. I don't know, but it's crazy. Let's go to the, I think we got some text here. Let's see what people are thinking. As far as tonight's question, what is your favorite rom-com? It's Valentine's Day, folks. Let's live it up. Let's party like it's Valentine's Day. Sage from Madison. He's in the 951. Ooh, Sage threw a curveball at us. I was ready to say 608. He does a little switcheroo. Sage says Gross Point Blank. Yes, great one. And talk about, we could do a show just based on rom-com soundtracks. And if we were doing that, Gross Point Blank would be probably top 5. That's a good film. Have you ever seen that?
I don't think I actually have.
It's worth it. It's a good film. It's John Cusack. One of my favorite roles John Cusack was in. And the song Under Pressure is in it. And the Violent Femmes. They got all this great music from like the 80s and 90s throughout the soundtrack. And there's some big laughs in it and some good action too. Thanks for the text, Sage. Appreciate it. Good to know the boss is listening, I think. Conrad, tighten up. Sage is listening. We get what are all these phone calls? Is there an emergency I'm unaware of? You trying to put out a fire over there? What's happening?
I had to get my tools out again.
Get the tools. Run to the car. Kimber from Muscata, Wisconsin. Am I saying that right? That's in the 608. Kimber says Annie Hall. God, another one I totally forgot about. Annie Hall is one of my all-time favorite films. Oscar-winning movie. Woody Allen, Diane Keaton, Christopher Walken. Diane Keaton's character is from Chippewa Falls, so there's this strong Wisconsin connection there. I love that. And Christopher Walken is so funny in that movie. And here's an interesting tidbit. If you do watch Annie Hall tonight, Kimber, go to the closing credits. They spelled Christopher Walken's name wrong, which that blows my mind that could happen on a major picture. And Woody Allen was kind of hot stuff back then. It was a Woody Allen film. Kind of a crazy mistake. But that's one of my faves. That's a great one. And a good romantic comedy with kind of a cool, realistic ending. Not a tie it up in a bow, pretty ending, but a nice, realistic, semi-happy ending. I liked it. Anna from Madison says, hi, Pete and Conrad. Little heart emoji. Thank you, Anna, on Valentine's Day. My favorite rom-com is Romancing the Stone with Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner. Yeah, a little action rom-com there. I saw that probably, Anna, when it came out, probably in the 80s. I want to say it came out like 87. But I bet I have not seen one frame of that movie since. But I do remember really enjoying it. That's a great text. Thank you. Andrew from Maine, he is in the 541. Favorite rom-com, Pretty Woman is certainly up there on the list. I think a lot of people would agree with you, Andrew. That's a great one. I knew we were going to hear that one at some point.
I watched it for the first time like 2 months ago.
Pretty Woman?
Yeah.
Really?
I loved it. It was a fantastic film.
Well, now I'm just curious. What got you to say, I'm going to fire up Pretty Woman tonight?
I was laying in bed and I was like, I want to watch something to fall asleep to, but I ended up watching the whole thing.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Did you have a little crush on Julia Roberts?
I did.
More than Kate McKinnon?
That's a stretch.
Never. Chris Casper checking in from Madison. He says, Top Gun, a rom-com. Yeah, it is. The original, Chris, or the sequel? Either one works. Thank you, buddy. Brian from Green Bay says, favorite rom-com, Silence of the Lambs. There is that really sensual scene where the prisoner throws his what have you on Jodie Foster. Very sweet. Gary's a romantic, or Brian's a romantic. I can tell that. Top Gun for sure, though. That's 2 votes for Top Gun. Andrew in Maine also says another with a semi-realistic ending, Chasing Amy. Yeah, that's a good one. God, you forget about some of these. Gary from Madison says the town in southwest Wisconsin is pronounced say it, Conrad. Muscadet?
Muscadet.
Muscadet.
Muscadet, yep.
PJ also says that on the stream. He checks in. Pete, it's Muscadet. Muscadet. I've never had to say that word before. Do we have a caller?
Yes, we do.
Phone lines are open, folks.
This is Jamie from Milwaukee.
Oh, love it. Hey, Jamie, how's it going?
Great. So my favorite rom-com is The Fisher King with Jeff Bridges and
nice.
Robin Williams. And it's a tremendously deep love story about redemption. And it's all about a radio disc jockey. Wow.
Right.
Who's on his way to get syndicated nationally. And he says something stupid on his call-in show, and it leads to some crazy guy committing a murder. And then his life is ruined. And then it's all about how he recovers. And he ends up befriending the guy whose wife was killed. and it's a beautiful, beautiful rom-com. And it's funny as hell, and it's serious as sin. So,
It's
but I want to tell you, I also...
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that's another one I haven't...
falling in love with the idea of AI that can help the average person in their home do mundane secretarial tasks or on their computer and their phone, like an AI that can sort your pictures and name them and delete the duplicates, or AI that could answer your email or read your email and give you a summary, or an AI that could sort through your bills or call the insurance company when you have to talk to that guy who's stealing you blind and you don't even want to talk to him and do these tasks. So I want to see AI for the people, not like these
I
stupid,
love it.
make a doggy into a fine painting.
Jamie,
you know?
thank you for the call. We're up against the break. Thank you so much. AI is romantic. That's what I'm taking away from this phone call. Thanks so much, and happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's
We'll be right
Day.
back with more Night Light with Pete Schwaba. Emerson Lehman joins us next on the Civic Media Radio Network.
You're listening to the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW, home for the Todd Allball Show.
Do you think radio is pretty neat? Do you see yourself in the broadcasting field in the future? Or do you just want to catch a rare glimpse of our producer Todd Michaels outside of the studio for once? I'm Amanda with your new Wisco 411, and college and high school students alike could attend the Wisconsin Broadcaster Student Forum at Lambeau Field on February 22nd. This is your chance to match the voice to the face behind the mic. Registration is required, and again, Todd Michaels is going to be there. I shouldn't be telling you that. So go to WGBW.FM, click events. We'll see if I have a job next week.
Appleton Cigar Company on College Avenue has been serving the community for over 25 years. If you are a cigar aficionado looking for a one-of-a-kind experience, you need to check out Appleton Cigar, which boasts the largest selection of cigars north of Milwaukee with over 706 cigars to choose from in a walk-in humidor. The Cigar Lounge offers an impressive variety of spirits and cocktails that pair perfectly with a premium cigar. For the full experience, come to Appleton Cigar at 415 College Ave, Monday through Saturday, 11:30 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. For more information, go to appletoncigar.com.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to slow it down and get it going slower. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression. Izervay gets GA going slower. Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today. Izervay gets GA going slower. Visit Izervay.com.
That takes me back. If you want to see the cheesiest show ever, even when I was a kid in the 70s and early 80s when Love American Style was on, I just watched it because I kind of had a secret crush on one of the actresses called Connie Francis. But the way they talked, and I don't think I was supposed to be watching the show, they talk about like swinging and, oh, we're back together now because my wife had to be a swinger for 3 months to see how it went, but now we're back together. I was a kid. I'm like 10 years old. I'm like, how do you just get back together with someone after that? She's out hitting the swingers clubs. And then it's just a crazy show.
I don't know what shows you were watching as a kid, man.
Love American Style. I'm telling you. And you could probably find them like on Prime or Netflix. This was a big show in America.
All right. I was a Happy Days guy as a kid.
That's much more wholesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very,
I loved Happy Days
very
too.
50s Milwaukee. Yeah. Great show.
Yeah. That's fun too. I remember thinking like, and I think I've said this recently to someone, but when I was a kid, I grew up on the northwest side of Chicago in the city, and I would go to pick up my buddy Billy Amato for school every day, and his brothers. This is a big Italian family. They worshipped the Fonz.
I still want to be the Fonz. I can't pull off a leather jacket though.
I can't pull out a leather jacket.
I'm gonna struggle.
And he was cooler, I think, when he was in the white jacket. Remember, like season 1?
Yeah.
But here's what they would
the
do.
buses.
They would come out, and one day, Bill's brother was taking the garbage out when I got there to pick him up for school, and they didn't even call it Happy Days. They called it the Fonz. Like, see the Fonz last night? Like, he's like this mythical.
He's all that matters in that show.
Great. But anyway, that's a much better show. I probably shouldn't have been watching Love American Style.
That's all right.
I did it. It molded me, and I have marital issues because of it. But anyway, how are you, buddy?
Great. How are you doing, man?
I'm well. This is Emerson Lehman joining me, folks. He's here in the studio. He's one of our favorites. He drops by from time to time, weather regardless.
I beat the snow this time. Last year, I was driving through it. It's not here yet. I don't think it started. Yeah, it hasn't started yet. Thank goodness.
Yeah. So you made it okay. Here's what I love about having you on the show. You're just so game for anything.
Let's party, man.
We've talked
let's
pickleball.
have a good time.
We've talked racing. We've talked Seinfeld. We've talked more pickleball.
Yeah,
and I'm going to ask you tonight about pickleball.
I was on the morning with Mino and the mayor earlier this week.
Oh, okay.
And I told them every time I sit in one of these chairs, somehow pickleball comes back up, and I'm cool with it. I love it. It's fine, but it cracks me up. It's always going to happen in the studio.
You have a lot of responsibility on you because you're the younger generation. You're a young buck, and you found this game that the geriatrics have sort of called their own, and you're dominating, I assume. But no, it's a lot of younger people are playing it now too, right?
I like to think of myself as a trendsetter, and
no doubt.
I started playing when there were not a lot of young people, and look at all these young people now. They jumped on the bandwagon, so I cannot take credit for any of it, but it's so cool to see. And it makes it a lot more fun when, you go to tournaments and you're playing other people your age. Just you find other people to play with your age.
Yeah, totally.
Make some new friends.
They can keep up with you.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
Do you talk about that much when you're on the air in the morning on TV? Is there room for that kind of, I'm not usually up at that hour, but I've seen clips, but I've never seen you talk about pickleball.
It comes up. It came up this morning because it's Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And our producer put a nice little segment together of everyone with their significant others. Well, I'm single.
Okay.
Do not have a girlfriend at the moment. So they put my picture was me playing pickleball, and that's my
that's your first love.
That's my one true love, apparently. So yeah, that was fun. I mean, we chatted about that for a solid 2 minutes this morning. So funny funny that you asked that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ill-timed.
No, that's okay. It was a good time.
So how often do you play now? Are you part of a club in Green Bay? I know you've been up to my hometown and played at
been
Marinette.
Up to Marinette. I'll be up there again April 11th and 12th. Not to throw you on the spot again, but their spring tournament's up there, so you got a second chance at
Memo. Conrad, Memo. I can't forget that this time.
He's gonna come up with there's gonna be something that happens that weekend.
You're gonna get sick again that weekend, right?
No, but the last time he was in Marinette, I wasn't sick. Something happened. I forgot or something, but I'm such a homebody.
It's all right. I understand.
And I live a half a mile from the rec center. Like, there's no excuse for me
just
not to
hang
go
out, man.
I know.
Yeah, you don't got to play. Just come hang out.
And that's what I was going to do last time. I was going to bring my tape recorder and do some interviews.
Perfect.
But woulda, coulda, shoulda. All right, remind me though. We got to do that.
I'm gonna just practice every week now until
pickleball.
They got it at the Y now. So
they got it at the Y. They just opened the Pickler in Green Bay. I play at Next Level in a Little Shoot a lot. They've also got a spot in Green Bay now too. To answer your question, probably 4 times a week.
Wow.
Sometimes 5.
That's fantastic. Wow. And feel like when you're done, you feel like it's a workout? Like you're sweating a little bit?
Absolutely.
You get your heart rate up? Okay.
Yeah, your heart rate, your hand-eye coordination, your reaction time, you're working with all that. You're running around. Yeah, it keeps me busy. It's better than sitting at home on the couch, right? I'd rather be out running around doing something. Fair enough. Some days, yeah, you just need to chill out a little bit. But no, it's fun, and I've got a lot of different friends in different groups that I play with, so it's nice to go. You get your Tuesday group and your Wednesday group and your Thursday group, and I just played this afternoon, so play again tomorrow morning.
Great.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Do you find that I love in the Y has everything?
Yeah,
like they teach a karate class. Like I think there's like a green belt teaching the class. They got cross stitch on Fridays. It's like they just have.
It's the community gathering place.
It really is. Yeah.
And there's I believe there's 7 around this area.
7 YMCA's.
Yeah. There's one a really big one in Kimberly that I've been to, and that's a really nice facility. Otherwise, there's one right downtown in Green Bay too. So there's a lot.
So great. Yeah. Okay. Well, if you guys have a question for Emerson or about pickleball, You can call us. You can text us. He will take questions. This guy thinks on his feet. He is a bona fide professional newsman, if you will. How are things going on the morning show?
Going great, man. Love the team. It's been such a good atmosphere, and just I'm still fairly young in this business, so to work with the people that I'm working with, it's just mind like a sponge, right? You're trying to just take everything in at every chance you get, and it's so much fun to work with, Tammy, Steve, Aisha, and just learn from them and continue to grow and try and build the show up to what it is. And we're just we've got some new producers that are kind of getting worked into the system now as well, and they've been doing great. So it's been great.
Don't think about stealing this guy.
He
just slipped Conrad a job offer.
You guys need some sports people over there?
Yeah, come hang out, bud. We can show you around the station a little bit.
Like this is a sliding window, and I'll just reach over and touch the knobs. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk about a new show Emerson is helming at WBAY. It's a great show. It's a staple in the community. You're not going to want to miss this. It's Nightlight with Pete Schwaba. We got Kaylin Cole coming up tonight in studio, and it's a Bar Band Friday night, ladies and gentlemen. Terry Barr will be here a little early tonight at 7:05. We're coming right back on the Civic Media Radio Network.
You're listening to the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW, home for Matt and Air on Air.
Enjoying this local program? Find the complete Civic Media lineup at civicmedia.us or the Civic Media app.
For 97.9 WGBW News, I'm Lisa Hale. That brown, sludgy material in the Fox River near Combined Locks is coming from the McKinley paper mill. While it does look unpleasant, DNR officials say the discharge is not out of the ordinary and is not hazardous or toxic. The paper mill says the issue is low water levels on the Fox. The DNR took samples on Thursday to determine the cause of the issue, and they are continuing their investigation. Valentine's Day, a day to celebrate love, but with a winter weather advisory in effect tonight, meteorologist Brittany Merlot says you might want to rethink date night.
Snow will hit hard this evening, with a hefty couple of inches already on the roads by the end of dinner. And with gusty winds, too, visibility will be low and snow will blow and drift and recover some roads. If you must travel, don't be rushed and drive slow. Take turns, roundabouts, and ramps easy. And never use cruise control. You need to be able to feel what the car is doing and if the tires are gripping. And also have a winter weather emergency kit in your car. I'd stock things like kitty litter, a shovel, extra gloves, hand warmers, chargers, battery bank, and a flashlight.
A new study finds that car insurance rates will increase in Wisconsin this year, but not as much as in previous years or in other states. The study was conducted by the insurance agency Insurify, which says car insurance rates in Wisconsin are expected to increase at about 3% this year. The expected increase is significantly lower than last year's increase of 22%, and the average cost of car insurance in the state is expected to be about $700 lower than the national average. Only 11 states are predicted to have cheaper insurance rates than Wisconsin. I'm Lisa Hale, 97.9 WGBW News. For news anytime, log on to WGBW.FM.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. Everybody has their favorite Saturday Night Live sketches from the past 50 years. If you're older, you might think Land Shark, The Bassomatic, or Bill Murray's Lounge Singer might be at the top of the list, but that's not the case. A new list from TheWrap.com lists the 10 funniest Saturday Night Live sketches, and the oldest one is from 29 years ago. It's important to note the Wrap's list only uses sketches from Saturday Night Live's YouTube page. Football fans hate the Kardashians. Those are the words of Kardashian leader Kim, who was referring to Tom Brady's roast last year, at which she was mercilessly booed. The boos were so thunderous, Netflix edited most of them out. Kardashian still claims she had nothing to do with that. On an episode of The Kardashians earlier this week, the former Mrs. Kanye West said she would never do a roast again because they are not good for the soul, adding that she never imagined that she would get booed. She obviously never watches her own TV show. For more showbiz fun, tune in to Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
This is your local Civic Media radio station. Want to hear even more? Anytime? Find all of it at civicmedia.us.
With your forecast, I'm Corey Hartman. Snow tonight could be heavy at times. We'll see a low around 19 and about 3 to 5 inches of snow is possible before it wraps up tomorrow. Highs near 30 on your Saturday. Winds will be gusting. Saturday night, another inch or two of snow and windy again.
It's 21 right now.
The Dom Salvia Show.
Inflation has to go down. How would you suggest your president address that? He's not talking about the cost for Americans. Hell, everything he's doing seems to going to increase the cost for Americans, starting with trade wars with Canada and Mexico. So if there is something positive out of this administration, let me know what it is. I would absolutely give credit where credit is due if I see it.
The Dom Salvia Show. Weekdays from 4 till 6 on the Civic Media Radio Network and on the Civic Media app.
Ever tried balancing a dozen eggs in one hand while hopping on one foot? Or maybe juggling cats while riding the unicycle? Sounds ridiculous, right? But guess what? That's exactly what texting while driving is like. Your human brain only has the capacity to focus on one thing at a time. So when you're behind the wheel, give driving your undivided attention.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
This week on the Rational Revolution, our dear friend Ahmad Rivera Wagner brings Capitol Police Officer.
Exciting and new.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody, on this beautiful, snowy Friday Valentine's Day here at Nite Lite, where we are, I wouldn't say there's romance in the air, but I think there's a lot of love in the studio right now.
All kinds
here
of love.
with Emerson Lehman, one of the anchors and co-hosts of the Green Bay, of the WBAY Morning Show here in Green Bay. Does a great job, and you're here in the studio. You're always so much fun when you're here. You're up for anything, like I say.
Always happy to hang out on a Friday night with the fellas at Nite Lite.
And I met you through Conrad. You went to high school with his older brother, right?
Shout out Kewaskum. He went to high school with my younger brother.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, just kind of flip around what you said there.
No edgies were exchanged here, though, as I understand it.
Yeah, no, I don't think I was strong enough to be a bully.
Darn the luck.
If, like, I'm just picturing the old, TV bully, picking people up, throwing them on the bubbler, and yeah, no, I couldn't do that.
You don't seem the type anyway.
No,
you seem like a pretty good guy. So tell us about your new show, Emerson. Small Towns.
Yes, Small Towns. It's a segment that's part of the Action to News at 6 newscast. So it airs every Thursday during the 6 o'clock news, and it's a beast, man. Jeff Alexander was the person who started it with photojournalist Michael Bergman, and it just they travel around every week to a small town and find the characters, find the stories that make these communities so special in Northeast Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And Jeff, after I think it was like 30 years at WBAY, retired, moved back to be closer to his family in Washington State. And my boss came to me and said, "You're taking over Small Towns." And I said, "All right, here we go." So I had a couple months to kind of prepare.
Yeah.
And it started, we just had my seventh story air last night. We went to Appleton Jones Park. They've got pickup hockey every week. So it's just kind of finding little things like that, right? And Appleton, not necessarily a small town, so to speak, but you find that small town feel, like the every small town has a little ice rink or something like that, right? And you just find these different characters, these different stories, and it's just so cool. I've been doing news for 5.5 years now, and I've never considered myself like the investigative reporter, digging into the hard documents. I love those stories that showcase the good going on in the community, the ones that make people smile. I think that hard news is super important, but I think it's just as important to show the good that's taking place and wonderful people that are making the world a good place. So to have a segment like this where I get to really focus on that and do that, it's kind of my wheelhouse as a storyteller, and I appreciate the higher ups at WBAY who recognized that and said, "Yep, you're going to be the one that takes it over." Because when you step into the shoes of someone who's been doing feature storytelling for 30 years and then has built this segment into a really recognized and sought after segment by our viewers. It puts a little bit of pressure on your shoulders. You don't want to fall on your face, but I've been getting a lot of positive feedback, which I'm very grateful for. Michael Bergman, the photojournalist who worked with Jeff, he's working with me now. I get to work with him every week, and he's fantastic. He's been doing news just about as long as I've been alive, so he knows what he's doing. And yeah, it's just such a cool segment to be a part of, and I'm really grateful to kind of carry the torch, so to speak.
But it does sound like there's pressure, though. Like, the guy's been doing it for 30 years.
Yeah,
you put your own spin on it to kind of differentiate it a little bit?
I try and put my little spin. When I was on the show once, we talked about Wisconsin Adventures. That was a series that I had been doing kind of when I first started here at WBAY and going around trying different things. So I'm kind of meshing the two together. I go to these small towns. Last week I went ice boating in Fond du Lac.
Oh, wow.
Jumped in the back of the ice boat, rode around on Lake Winnebago.
Yeah.
I got my cell phone up in the air trying to take pictures, and it was such a cool experience that I would not have done had they not emailed us and said, hey, you might want to check this out for small towns. And I'm just trying to take people, and if they can't go do it themselves, like experience it through the TV, or if they see something in one of these small towns, we've gotten emails and letters from people saying, I went and checked this out because I saw it on your show. Like that's so cool. It's getting these small communities the recognition. I grew up in a small town, Kewaskum, like we talked about, and I loved it when the news would come to my town growing up, but a lot of times it was either high school football or like a house fire or something. It was never
something bad. Right.
And so to be able to go to these communities and talk about the positive things and highlight them in a positive way, they get so appreciative of that. They're so proud to showcase their community, and I think that's special and that's important to do, especially when you're local.
Don't
news.
you think that's why people tune in too? Like, I mean, if you want hard news, if you want to pull your hair out, go watch national news.
You can,
whatever. But it's and the other thing I find interesting about Green Bay news, and maybe we've talked about this in the past, there's something about this community. People don't leave in your position.
Sure.
Like the anchors, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the positive feedback they get from the community. They don't want to give that up or whatever, but like so many people make a career of it here.
It's a really cool place to live and to do this job, because we talked about this last time I was on the show, but people are watching.
Yeah.
Because they share that feedback with you and that positivity. And I loved that story that you told, or sometimes it's not positive, but you deal with it. You take your punches too. It's a cool place to live and to work. And it's just, Northeast Wisconsin is, I think it's pretty up and coming, man. You've got some awesome developments going up. You've got these awesome cities, Green Bay, you got the Fox Valley, like just all these
like
places.
The number one place to live for small towns or something.
It's fantastic. And people are very, very proud of their communities. They're proud of this region in the state. And it's cool to be able to just go around and share these stories and experience new things that I didn't even know were happening. And I've grown up in this state. I've lived here I'm 28 years old. I've lived here for 24 of the years, if you don't count my 4 years in college. So I'm a Wisconsinite, and it's really, really special. A little bit of pressure, yes, not gonna lie. Like you don't want to mess it up. I tell people if appointment television was still a thing, I think small towns is in that trend where people say every Thursday at 6 I'm tuning in because I want to see where they go this week. And that's I don't carry that lightly. Like that's a really, it's a good pressure to have.
You're not going to start adding musical numbers and yourself doing some soft shoe.
Keep
the train going.
I hope not. Yeah, if we have to do that, I really hope there's a good reason.
Wrong.
There's a good reason behind it. I mean, maybe we'll showcase some tap dancers or something. And
that could be cool.
You got to jump in with them. Yeah, I've always been kind of, I'll do anything on TV except wolves. I do not mess with wolves. If there was ever like no, wolves are my one.
That just came out of nowhere. You just made the jump. I'll do a lot of stuff in TV. Wolves, no way. I was like, whoa.
That's right. I draw the hard line at wolves. I will.
Did you have a bad experience?
No, they just terrify me.
Well, they're incredible animals. Yeah.
They're majestic, but if I ever came across one I do not like wolves.
Here's what you
something new today.
Stay away from the alpha. That's what I've learned.
I'd like to stay away from all of them if I could.
Even the betas. Don't go.
Yeah, I'm good.
Because they only the top wolf, the alpha, is the only one who procreates. So they get stronger as it's incredible. They're an amazing animals.
I do not disagree with you how fantastic they are, but they terrify me.
If somebody designed like a shark cage and you could go out in the wolves, you still wouldn't do it?
Yeah, I would do a shark cage before I would do a wolf cage, I think.
Wolf cage?
Nope. I'm
really?
good.
Oh, God, a shark cage, you got the underwater working against you. You've got a shark. You're in jail. That terrifies me. I hear what you're saying about the wolves.
Yeah, I don't know, man. They are even like on shows when I know a wolf's about to show up. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna look away. I'm just listen to the I do not. Me and wolves, nope.
You're like Phil on Modern Family when it comes to clowns. He just can't catch his breath and he feels dizzy. That's so great.
No, I'm good.
Conrad, did you know that?
I didn't. No.
You got to tell everyone back in Kewaskum.
I think a lot of the 19 viewers we have right now are probably folks in Kewaskum.
Hey, that's 19 just on Twitter, pal.
That's great. No, that's fantastic.
They all love wolves. So you got your work cut out for you.
I respect it.
We got a text here for you, Emerson. Todd Michaels sends in the Vlasic pickleballs, dill pickle corn puffs. And then it looks like that's something he added where it says oddly good.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
I got to check that out.
Your new snack there.
Yeah, I can take that to the pickleball court.
We also got a text from Bridget from the 818 who says, the wedding date with Deborah Messing and Dermot Mulrooney, her favorite rom-com.
Oh, my mom sent me a text to share, to answer that. Her favorite rom-com is How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Matthew McConaughey.
Yep.
And Kate Hudson, maybe?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
I have never seen that all the way through.
Mine is That Awkward Moment.
Is that what it's called?
Zac Efron, Michael B. Jordan, Miles Teller.
That's a good one.
That's honestly one of my favorite movies of all time. So,
really?
But it just falls into the rom-com category. So.
Oh, I got to add that to the list. I love Miles Teller.
It's a pretty. I love that movie. I could watch that movie over and over again.
All right. Hey, we have a. First of all, when can people see Small Towns? It's on
Small
Thursdays,
Towns.
Did you say?
Yes.
Okay.
Action 2 News at 6. It usually is about 10 to 15 minutes into the newscast, but tune in for the whole thing. Why not? Catch your local news and then see what's going on in small towns that week.
I love it.
It's a fun segment. Really proud to be doing it.
We've got a segment we've added intermittently on this show, and it's a quiz about Wisconsin. It's the Night Lite Wisconsin quiz that you were sport enough to say you would take the quiz. And we've done this twice so far in like the last month. Luke Mathers here, Civic Media, one of Civic Media's own. He did really well.
3 wrong, I believe.
But let's not. We
and
probably shouldn't say anything.
It's the same question for everybody?
Pretty much.
Yep.
And he's about your age.
I'm competitive. So
and he was only a C student, so there's no pressure on you.
Well, I was a D student, so we'll see how this goes.
The bar. All right, so let's do this. I shouldn't take this, correct? Because I've already taken it.
Yeah.
All right, so you're just giving me an answer sheet.
I gave you an answer sheet for a reason.
I didn't know if you wanted me to place bets.
I appreciate being able to follow along with it, too. That's great.
Did you circle? Oh, no. Okay. My answers are circled.
That would have been great. You can circle mine. That's cool.
100%.
Kewaskum buddies here. I don't know.
That's how I passed college.
So Emerson Lehman is here from the Don't say that on the air.
It's all good.
From the WBAY Morning Show. He's one of our favorites. He's in the studio, and he is about to put his reputation on the line, ladies and gentlemen, and take the Night Lite Wisconsin quiz. How well does Emerson Lehman know the state he calls home? All right, you ready, buddy?
I almost wore a Wisconsin hat tonight. I'm glad I didn't, just in case this doesn't go well. But let's do it. Let's give it a shot.
All right. I like that attitude. All right, Con, you ready? All right. I got my bell ready, too. Number 1. The first kindergarten classes in the U.S. were held in what city in 1856 at the home of a German couple?
I'm going to go. Are you going to?
I'll read the answer,
Okay,
just so
perfect.
people at home. All right.
Yep.
Is it A, Watertown, B, Kewaskum, C, Green Bay, or D, Sun Prairie?
I'm going to go A, Watertown.
Double bells, baby.
Hey-o.
1 for 1 out of the gate. I like where this is going. Number 2, focusing on a group of 6 teenagers' lives in Point Place, Wisconsin, 50 years ago. What's the name of the groovy Fox period sitcom that starred Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis? Was it A, That 70s Show, B, Friends, C, Cheers, or D, Black Doves?
I love That 70s Show. That's A.
Oh, man. He's giving Luke a run for his money. I hope Luke's
We're
listening.
only 2 for 2 right now. We got a lot to go here, fellas.
All right, good point. Don't get overconfident. Here we go. Number 3. Delavan, Wisconsin is the location of the factory that produces what brand of rectangular chocolate mint candles? Is it A, Mars Bars, B, Twix, C, Junior Mints, D, Andy's Candies?
D, right? Andy's Candies?
Wow.
Yeah.
I was the same way when Luke got that. I'm like, how did you know? Like, I thought those were made overseas.
Those were a very popular stocking stuffer.
Right.
And I knew it wasn't any of the other 3, so just,
Yeah, I guess it's process of elimination.
Yeah.
Okay.
The rectangular helped out there. Otherwise, the Junior Mints might have threw me off. But the rectangular.
It's a rectangular box.
The
of Junior
rectangular
Mints.
gave it away. So that was helpful. Context clues.
I've never seen rectangular Junior Mints. Those would be the Senior Mints.
Yeah.
Number 4, what tear-inducing satire news site was founded by two students at the University of Wisconsin-Madison in 1988? Is it A, Puberty, B, The Onion, C, The Poke?
The Poke.
I don't think it's that one.
Or D, ESPN?
B, The Onion.
Whoa! He is 4 for 4, ladies and gentlemen. Emerson Lehman is on a roll. We will continue this and see how he fares after a very short break. Don't go anywhere. Emerson Lehman's here. It's a Bar Band Friday night. Terry Barr comes up. She's on at 7:05 tonight, Conrad. A little early, and then we have Kaylin Cole at 7:35. We're coming right back on the Civic Media Radio Network.
The Talk of Green Bay, WGBW.
You're listening to the American Democracy Minute, keeping your government by and for the people. While attacks on democracy norms ensue in Washington, state legislatures have also been busy. We have updates from Utah, Kansas, Indiana, and the contested North Carolina Supreme Court race. Voting Rights Lab reports that the Utah House is considering HB 300, which forces mail-in ballot users to deliver their ballot not by mail, but by hand to an official polling place where an ID can be presented. The elderly, disabled, and other voters for whom returning by mail is their only option would need to seek special permission. HB 332 would withdraw Utah from the Cooperative Electronic Registration Data Center, the subject of far-right conspiracy theories. The Kansas Senate passed SB 4, which requires receipt of mail-in ballots by 7 p.m. Election Day to count, rather than the current 3 days after. An Indiana Senate committee advanced SB 284, shortening early in-person voting from 28 days to 14 days, ending at noon the day before Election Day. The full Senate passed SB 10, ending use of school-issued student identification as ID for voting. In North Carolina, a district court judge dismissed a claim by a state Supreme Court candidate that in a race he lost by 734 votes, as many as 65,000 voters were ineligible. A federal appeals court may revisit it. We've linked the Voting Rights Lab tracker at AmericanDemocracyMinute.org. I'm Brian Beal.
Do you know or work with kids who have special healthcare needs? Help them live their best lives. Contact Wisconsin Wayfinder Children's Resource Network. Our specialists will connect you with services in your area. Wisconsin Wayfinder is free and confidential. Call 877-947-2929 or visit dhs.wi.gov/WISC.
I get so lost sometimes.
We've got our question of the night is, what is your favorite rom-com in honor of Valentine's Day? We've gotten some great answers so far. Be part of the fun, folks. Let us know what your favorite rom-com is. You can text us at 855-752-4842. Kimber, say that name again. Conrad, does it just come right from memory? You have to look at it again.
No,
Muscadet.
from
Muscadet.
I was gonna say it. You cut me off though.
Yeah, no, I'm sure you would have got it. Kimber from Muscadet says, Wolves, Sharks, same. So she's got your back, Emerson.
Thank you.
I think.
I appreciate that.
Oh, look at Terry Barr is doing the.
Yeah, she's.
I
playing
should
along.
just pause.
She's crushing
for a second and let Terry answer.
I'm
and
gonna
it's gonna
have to
pop up for me there.
She's got like a connection to all of the answers too. My husband is from Delaware. The Onion. I love it. All right, Terry, keep playing along with us.
She's trying to beat me.
She's getting warmed up for Bar Band Friday night. All right. So Emerson Lehman is here from the WBAY morning show here in Green Bay, and he is in the studio tonight, as he so often is. It's always fun when he's here, and he's agreed to take our Wisconsin quiz, the Nightlight Wisconsin quiz. He's 4 for 4?
Yep.
Okay, so number 5. Here we go. The first cheesehead was not worn at a Green Bay Packers game, but instead at a game for what baseball team? A, Chicago Cubs, B, Fond du Lac Dock Spiders, C, Milwaukee Braves, D, Milwaukee Brewers.
I am going to go see the Braves.
Don't
tell. Is it the Dock Spiders?
No, it's
the Brewers.
It's the Brewers.
Okay.
Do the Dock Spiders exist?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're
in the Northwoods.
I was going to be like really upset if it was the Dock Spiders because that would have. That's a tough one. The Braves and the Brewers.
Is a tough
Yep.
one.
So
I did make a couple tough ones.
Yeah, thanks, Conrad. Appreciate that, buddy. All right. 4 for 5.
All right. 4 for 5. Number 6. During the summer, the population of Door County reaches blank the number of year-round residents. Is it A, 5 times, B, 20 times, C, 100 times, or D, 10 times?
I'm going to go B 20 times. Man, let's restart this block, dude. This is not a great. It's D. Okay,
It's
D.
10
times.
That surprised me when I heard that. I thought it was going to be like 100 times because I've been there and it's just insane.
It's packed.
Yeah,
10 times.
That's
All right,
crazy.
That's cool.
All right, number 7. Soviet satellite Sputnik 4 fell out of orbit in 1962, and while most of it burned up on reentry, a 20-pound piece of debris crashed to the ground in what city? Is it A, Manitowoc, B, Madison, C, Tomahawk, or D, Kenosha?
This is not good, fellas.
Oh, now I feel bad.
No, it's okay. I am going to go A, Manitowoc.
Yes! All right, you're back.
We're back on track. Here we go.
You should go there and check it out. It's pretty cool. They have a little thing right in the street,
right
to
there.
memorialize it. Yeah,
All right,
it's pretty cool.
We're getting there.
All right,
and I saw you trying to slide the. We don't need any.
I saw you didn't
We don't
look.
need any cheats here. We're doing this purely.
But I wasn't cheating. I'm just being a giver. I'm like
You
trying to,
are,
like,
and I
yeah.
appreciate that. But
I'd like to make our guests.
we're gonna hold it down. If I can't do it, this won't be the first test I failed in my life. So it's okay.
God, I admire you. Okay, here we go. Number 8. The first ever Flag Day was celebrated in what county?
Ozaki.
Oh.
Here
Is
we
that
go.
because of Kewaskum?
Yeah, it's close.
All right.
It's close.
All
I
right.
drive through the community. I forget what the name of the town is, but they have banners on it that say "Home of Flag
Oh,
Day."
sweet.
So
Okay.
I had that one locked in.
You can chime in if you know it. Go for it.
Yeah,
All right.
I was just trying to
Expedite.
save your
we got
breath a little bit.
Couple minutes. Okay, here we go. Let's see if we can get as many of these in as we can. Celebrated on April 22nd, Earth Day was created by then Wisconsin U.S. Senator. Is it A, Gaylord Nelson, B, Aaron Rodgers, C, Tammy Baldwin, or D, Scott Lucas?
Is it Gaylord Nelson?
Yes. Now he's back on track.
How many did I get wrong? 2 so far?
Yeah, 2.
2.
Okay,
5
so
and
I can
6.
still beat Luke. All right.
Yeah.
I'm keeping track.
All right. Number 10. What is the motto for Wisconsin? A, deer are near. B, beer for all. C, forward. Or D, whoops, sorry, didn't see you there.
Sorry.
Oop,
Didn't
sorry.
see you there. It's C, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to say D. I really did. That's the unofficial one.
All right, we're jamming. Number 11. Where was the first Quick Trip? A,
Eau
West
Claire.
Bend. Oh, doctor. Number 12. In what Wisconsin city was the typewriter invented in 1867? A, Beaver Dam, B, Beloit, C, Kiel, or D, Milwaukee?
Is it between B and D?
Yes.
Dang it, I really wanted you to
You
say
want to
that.
use a lifeline? You want to call your mom?
I don't think my mom would know, but I worked with someone who loved typewriters.
Really?
And I have a typewriter. B. Beloit.
Oh,
I knew it was Milwaukee.
I was
Okay.
almost going to try to slide you the
all
answer
right.
again.
All right, we're tied with Luke. It's
All
cool.
right.
Here we go.
What is the state wildlife animal?
Badger.
Is it A, badger, B, white-tailed deer,
Is it not badger?
C, elk, or D, oriole?
We're the badger state.
I know.
That's the state animal.
Oh, so white-tailed deer then?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. We're gonna count that as a yes.
All right.
We're gonna
You
count
jumped the gun a little bit there. All right, this is number 14. We got 2 left. What's the highest recorded temperature in Wisconsin on July 13th, 1936? Is it A, 126, B, 114, C, 104, or D, 107?
People would be cooking at 126.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
At
go
any of those, really.
107. It's 104. 114.
Take your time. Yes!
Process of elimination, fellas.
D. I'm sorry, D. Where did that come from? 15. What famous actor grew up in Kenosha, Wisconsin, and played an angry green guy? A, Willem Dafoe, B, Chris Farley, C, Mark Ruffalo, D, Harry Houdini.
Well, Defoe was the
Follow that train
Spider-Man, but Ruffalo was in the Hulk, who is also angry, right?
Uh-oh. Conrad, we need to revisit that last question.
I-
We're going to give it to
I-
Willem Dafoe.
Okay, it was
Willem
Dafoe.
I
Dafoe,
kind of
yeah.
forgot about Green Goblin, actually.
Dude, always so much fun. Thank you so
This
much.
is a blast, fellas. I appreciate
Good luck with
it.
small towns.
Thank you
I
so
love
much.
the idea. I'm sure you're great at it. Come back and see us soon.
Look forward to it.
All right, Emerson Lehman, ladies and gentlemen, check him out on the WBAY Morning Show every day here in Green Bay. Does a great job. We're coming right back. It's Bar Band Friday night. Terry Barr is coming up next on the Civic Media Radio Network.
You're listening to the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW, home of Mino and the Mayor.
Pay for the person behind you. Give a compliment. Random acts of kindness on the next Newisco weekend. I'm Lisa Hale.
And I'm Terry Barr. Why doing good for others is good for you, too.
Saturday mornings at 8, Sundays at 11 on WGBW and WISS. Mino and the Mayor.
You know, you're sore when you start working out after you have been working. Okay, so no big deal.
Did you stretch before you worked out?
Yeah, big time.
You did not. Yeah, see, that's okay. You
So-
stretch before and after. And really, your stretch before and after should equal the time you work out.
Okay, hey, Dad.
Mino and the Mayor, weekday morning 6 till 9 on 97.9 WGBW and 98.3 and 96.5 WISS. And the Civic Media app. Local radio for you and your community. It's Civic Media's mission with stations across Wisconsin. Find your favorites at civicmedia.us. This is 97.9 WGBW Denmark, Green Bay's real news and great conversation, a Civic Media radio station.
ABC News, I'm Richard Cantu. The Department of Energy paused its mass firings at the National Nuclear Security Administration that keeps watch over the nation's nuclear weapons.
The Department of Energy call people back, say that this was a mistake, or at least try to reverse course, because there were real questions that this could have impacted whether the agency could continue with all of its functions. And they don't have the same level of civil service protection, so it was easier to terminate them from their positions. And this is a part of the Trump administration making good on a promise to try to shrink the size of the federal government.
ABC's Mary Alice Parks, a second federal judge, this one in Seattle, has paused President Trump's order halting federal support for gender-affirming care for trans individuals under age 19. The Justice Department formally asked a federal court to dismiss the corruption case against New York City Mayor Eric Adams. That was expected after at least 7 career prosecutors resigned in protest. This is ABC News.
Every story matters, and the Civic Media Radio Network is celebrating Black History Month by honoring the powerful stories of Wisconsin's own trailblazers. Meet Rob Dees, the Madison artist and educator, adds his own twist to Black History Month.
For me, it's always a responsibility to be Black History every day. I appreciate the month, and I'm going to celebrate it to the fullest, but it's also an importance to be Black History every day.
Rob lives what he says, too. One example, mentoring troubled kids who embrace their own stories and share through the power of hip-hop music.
Trying to get kids to really understand their story is important, their struggle is important. I've often heard the word inspiration associated with what I do, but my biggest hope of inspiration is to inspire others. And I feel like these babies are the future, so we gotta inspire them.
Rob is lifting up the next generation while still honoring the past. Listen for more inspiring stories all month long. I'm Terry Barr.
For 97.9 WGBW News, I'm Lisa Hale. In the past year or so, Appleton has investigated several fraud cases that resulted in the seizure of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. So now, what does the police department do with those assets? Appleton police have asked the Finance Committee to open a Coinbase account that would allow them to convert crypto assets into cash to be given back to the victims. The Finance Committee unanimously endorsed that plan. The matter now goes before the Appleton Common Council for final approval next week. Some religious organizations across Wisconsin are pushing back against the Trump administration over immigration policy. They're part of a lawsuit against an executive order that allows immigration officers to enter schools and houses of worship. Stuart J. Waddles has the story.
A Milwaukee religious organization is joining the immigration fight in response to a policy change that is said to allow immigration raids in places of worship. 2 Wisconsin faith groups have joined a lawsuit. The Wisconsin Council of Churches has offices in Madison and Milwaukee. They're joining a broader coalition of over 24 faith groups in filing the suit in U.S. District Court in D.C.
Marquette looking for back-to-back wins. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. Marquette on the road at Villanova a week from tonight. Marquette fell to 18th after losing 3 in a row. Head coach Shaka Smart on hoping his guys can get another win next Friday night.
We've been through a tough stretch the last few games. You know, we have a lot of pride in this program, so we don't take kindly to losing, and we have a sense of urgency to grow and improve.
In the Big Ten, Wisconsin battles the Purdue Boilermakers tomorrow at noon in West Lafayette. NBA All-Star Weekend in San Francisco. Damian Lillard is there competing in the three-point tournament tomorrow night and the All-Star Game Sunday evening. Baseball, Freddie Peralta named the Brewers starting pitcher for opening day in New York against the Yankees.
Keep doing what we've been doing. Everything starts here now. In spring training, pitches and catcher, everything starts here, making everybody feel comfortable and just wait for the position players and pull all that together and get ready for the season.
That's the Brewers ace, Freddie Peralta, with Sports on Mike Clemens.
I'm Lisa Hale with WGBW News. Your news in depth. Find it in the news section at WGBW.FM.
With your forecast, I'm Corey Hartman. Snow tonight could be heavy at times. We'll see a low around 19 and about 3 to 5 inches of snow is possible before it wraps up tomorrow. Highs near 30 on your Saturday. Winds will be gusting. Saturday night, another inch or 2 of snow and windy again.
It's 21 right now.
The Maggie Dawn Show.
Marquette University professor and pollster extraordinaire Charles Franklin.
Deporting immigrants who are in the U.S. illegally. 60% support that, but when we ask the same question and just add at the end, including those with jobs and no criminal record, then support drops to just 43%.
Wisconsinites have a sense of fairness.
The Maggie Dawn Show. Weekdays from 2 till 4 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the Civic Media app.
Imagine home. The smell of coffee, the sound of a lawnmower, the sun's warmth on your face. Free to be yourself, surrounded by love that helps you grow. This is a place to call home. That's an American dream we all deserve. But in 50% of U.S. states, you could legally be denied housing if you are LGBTQ+. Get the facts and hear real stories at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
John Mino and Jim Schmidt.
On Monday's show, Kristen Ambos with Point Mortgage and Paul Vanden Plus with Wonderfully Wisconsin.
Plus local.
Broadcasting live from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay, this is Night Light with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood. And now, a guy who likes pina coladas but hates getting caught in the rain, Pete Schwaba.
We are back. It is hour number 2, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Valentine's Day. So great to have you with me on this Friday night here as we broadcast statewide like we do every night from beautiful downtown Green Bay. And so this is interesting. So today, folks, our next guest is Terry BARR, and this is BARR Band Friday night. And she's being flexible tonight because we have one of her favorites in studio after this segment. So it's kind of like an extended BARR Band tonight. So Terry was gracious enough to move her time up to 7:05, which is great because she introduced us to one of our guests. So I think that's awesome to begin with. But also, Terry was taking the quiz along with Emerson Lehman and crushed. Did she do better than Emerson?
I think she did.
She's like Miss Wisconsin. So, of course, I would not want to square off against Terry on that quiz. But let's bring her onto the show right now. Our friend and one of our favorite frequent flyers here at Nightlight, Terry BARR. Hey, Terry.
Hi! I couldn't type fast enough to keep up with you guys. I was trying. I was spelling words wrong, and I was just all over the place. Ugh.
For whatever reason, I can never spell the word Manitowoc. I always put an A in where there's like 18 O's or whatever. I never get that word right.
Yeah.
But you did, and you did very well in the quiz.
I did okay on that one. I'm pretty familiar. What was the one? Oh, Muscadet, because it says one thing, but it doesn't spell the way it sounds.
Yeah, it's kind of a different. We've had a lot of towns like that in Wisconsin, I think. Like
Agreed.
Thiensville, Oostburg, St. Niaz.
Shawano.
Shawano, yes.
Shawano.
Exactly. How are you? Happy Valentine's Day.
I'm good. Happy Valentine's Day to you too.
Thank you very much.
I feel really special because a musician that I have taken a liking to sent me a Valentine's Day song. And that is what I'm going to be sharing with you tonight.
Wow. Okay. So, all right. So, do you want to elaborate on that? Because I think I know what you're talking about, but I don't want to step on any
Well, what I
toes.
think is so funny, I know who you are speaking to after 7:30.
Yeah.
Yes, she is one of my longtime favorites.
She loves you.
Real quick about her, I met her when she was still in high school. She came on a different radio station where I was working to promote a Christmas holiday type program she was in, but she was the only high schooler, if you will. She was actually singing with a bunch of full-time musicians. So, we're getting ready to bring her on air, and I'm thinking, okay. Wow.
Yeah. She's great.
So there's your promo for who's coming up after 7:30.
Extended Bar Band Friday night. We've never done this before, and that's why I think this is so cool. And you had Kaylin Cole on the show. You introduced us to her like 5 or 6 months ago, and I was such a huge fan. So when Jimmy messaged me just yesterday morning, I figured you guys are all in cahoots on this and everything. And I'm like, oh, yeah, perfect. And she's great. Kaylin is great. I can't wait to have her in the studio. So thank you again for the introduction.
She has such a personality, too. She's fun to watch perform.
Yes. Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Okay, I can't wait to hear her after 7:30 with you.
So
here is the interesting thing. She writes a lot of non-Valentine type songs. So that's why I thought this was funny. I have a Valentine's Day song, and he wrote it kind of last minute. I'm talking about Tyler S.J. He's from the Appleton area. He grew up in North Dakota, but has called Wisconsin home for years and years. He sings, writes his own songs. The thing I love is he sent a description along with this song. So imagine this. He calls it a lovey-dovey little morsel. He wrote it for his wife, and he says it's really about the two of them growing up together and looking back at how it all happened. A lot of their stumbling blocks that he blames on himself and how they were able to hold it together. And he thinks anyone else who has a, kind of little lovebird thing going on will enjoy it too. He is at a show tonight in Appleton. And then he's got a bunch of shows throughout February, and you can find more about him, see him in Appleton, Green Bay, Door County. That's kind of the way he tracks. Tyler, it's TYLER-SJ.com. Pete, something I want to point out, though, and I think this is where I find him so fascinating. His songs are so good that he writes, but I just discovered now he has told me this in the past, but he actually has a blog on his website about his battle with alcohol. And he writes about how hard it's been and what he had to go through to finally go to rehab the last time. And he is now 4 years alcohol free. And reading this blog is just impressive for this young man to be so open about it.
Yeah, totally. How old is he, Terry?
He has 2 little kids, And it's
Okay.
weird when you look at a photo of he and his wife, they look like they have to be in their late 20s, early 30s. I don't know for sure, but that's the
Whoa.
look and feel I get of the photos I've seen.
Okay. Oh, that's fantastic. All right. So should we hear this song now? This is our
Yeah, let's take a
special.
listen. He said this came together really fast. He just all of a sudden got the urge to write this song for his wife.
I love this. Okay, this is Tyler. Say his name again because I'm going to screw it up.
I
Tyler.
say Tyler S.J., and he hasn't
Tyler
corrected me
S.J.
yet.
Okay, perfect. And Tyler-SJ.com if you want more information. So here is Tyler S.J. with I Brought You Flowers on Bar Band Friday Night.
Bought carnations from the grocery store. They'll last a month or more. I'll buy another bunch when next time out this way. Lit a candle from the checkout line. Supposed to smell of brandy wine. Let's light them both. They were 2 for 1 today. Remember when it was just me and you? 1 suitcase with room for 2. Toss the dog and go wherever it might land. Do you recall that 1 year lease? Few dozen cubic feet. When being far from you was more than I could stand. Where we're going and where we left. Between you and me, darling, I was scared to death. Edges smooth down, dreams built to fit. You know I wouldn't trade a bit of it. It's yours and mine and ours. It ain't much, but I bought you flowers. Brought home dinner from our favorite spot. We used to go a lot. Seldom now, with a few more plates to fill. Call on toast before my flight. Pancakes at 3 at night. Minute then, you know I mean it still. Where we're going and where we left. Between you and me, darling, I was scared to death. Edges smooth down, dreams built to fit. You know I wouldn't trade a bit of it. It's yours and mine and ours. It ain't much, but I bought you flowers. Slow ourselves until we both remember where we found the softest of surrender. Where we're going and where we left. Between you and me, darling, I'm scared to death. Edges smooth down, dreams built to fit. You know I wouldn't trade a bit of it. It's yours and mine and ours. It is yours and mine and ours. It is yours and mine and ours. It ain't much, but I bought you flowers.
What a sweet song that is. Perfect Valentine's Day song.
Yes.
Love that, Terry. Conrad said too, he said it's an accordion in the background. When the accordion is used right, it's just the perfect complement sometimes to a song. I just love it.
Isn't it wonderful? Yes. It's quirky, it's cute, and obviously with the backstory about it being for his wife and also knowing what
Yeah.
they've gone through, it just makes it that much more sweet.
Can I read something? This is off his website. I love
Oh,
this.
yeah, please do.
It says, Tyler S.J. Music. I started playing guitar when I moved to Oregon and had no friends. In the many years since, I've played countless shows, written dozens of songs, some good, and collaborated with musicians I respect more than any doctor. Okay, maybe not abortion doctors, but most doctors. He says, these days I live in Northeast Wisconsin. I write about the things I know, family, growing up, and figuring bleep out. Sobriety. I love to play for people, love to talk about music, among at least two other things, and I'm certainly happiest with my wife's ass in my hands.
Oh.
My guitar is a close second, though. I love this guy. That's so great.
I think we have to get him on your show.
I think we have to. That would be so great.
I'm sure he would love it. He's
from
quite a
Northeast
character,
Wisconsin.
too. He hasn't lost his sense of humor, obviously.
Can you just can we do a quick thing and then you just whet our appetites a little bit more for Kaylin when we come back? Before we let you
Sure.
go? All right, perfect. It's a Bar Band Friday night, ladies and gentlemen. Terry Barr is here as usual, and we're going to hear a little bit about our next guest, who Terry introduced us to a few months ago, and we're doing a little celebration here, an extended Bar Band Friday night here on Valentine's Day, just for you. It's Nightlight with Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network.
I wish every day the sun would shine. Take me to another place in my life where everything is beautiful and no one wants to need no sun could rule our soul. I wish every day sunshine.
From Denmark to De Pere, this is 97.9 WGBW.
Hey, it's Amanda, and we all know that Northeast Wisconsin has some of the best events around, but trying to find them all can be tricky. So here at WGBW, we decided to do the work for you. Prevent boredom on any night by going to WGBW.fm and click events in the top right corner. You'll never have to spend forever scrolling to find out what's going on in your area. And if you got an event to share, hit us up by emailing info@WGBW.fm. We can work together to have real news and great conversation while giving you the 411 on what's happening in New Wisco.
The 2025 draft is almost here, bringing in guests from around the world for this once-in-a-lifetime event. Ready to turn your home into a revenue powerhouse? Simple Life Hospitality makes it easy to rent your home and provides expert, locally managed care, backed by over 50 years of experience. All guests are fully vetted for your peace of mind, so don't miss out. Partner with Simple Life Hospitality today. Visit simpleliferentals.com and make the most of this unforgettable event. That's simpleliferentals.com.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Time to check out original music with Bar Band Friday on Nightlight. Now, your host, Pete Schwaba, and special guest, Terry Barr.
Terry Barr, you can hear her every Saturday night, just about every Saturday night, on Max Inc. Radio, along with Jimmy and Rocker. I understand we have some rocker news, Terry.
Rocker is rocking once again.
That's so great.
Oh, he scared all of us. And for
Yeah.
those who did not hear, he was playing a show, got up from behind the drum set and collapsed and had a massive heart attack.
Wow.
Yeah. Luckily, now this was this was back in December, right after the holidays. So he's been recuperating. He had to go back to the hospital once, but I think he's got his system down now. He's doing some physical therapy, And tomorrow night, he's coming into the studio live at 7:30 to give us an update. But we also have a huge surprise for him. And I can't say what it is because
Okay.
I don't want to blow the surprise in case he's listening.
That's okay. Leave it to a musician, a rock and roller, to do something on stage no one can follow, right?
Right.
Oh my gosh. I'm so glad he's doing better. That's great. He's such a great guy.
Oh my gosh, we are too. We miss him terribly.
Yeah.
The show is just not quite the same. We've had to, because he's really a great tech guy when it comes to the live music. And so we've had to kind of cut some things down a little bit. We're making it work though, but we can't
Okay.
wait for him to get back in the saddle.
That's great. And then I'm so excited to have Kaylin Cole on because you kind of told us about her several months ago, and she started playing, if I remember correctly, in bars when she was like 16. Her parents would take her to play open mics and stuff like that. That's so great. And now she's living in Nashville. So what a cool thing. And she seems to love Max Inc.
Yes. We love her right back. We're so happy that she thinks of us whenever she's in town, and the door is always open to her. We love to hear her stories, and she probably told you she recently quit her job. So
I
she
did
is a
read that.
full-time musician in Nashville now.
That is fun. And I did ask her about that, and she told us about that. And it's scary, but she says it's going great. So that's fantastic.
And all I ever say to her every time I see her, and it probably drives her nuts, that I always say, "Please don't forget all of us."
I don't listen. I don't think that's possible. She's a pretty big fan, and I think very thankful for what you guys have done. At least giving her exposure, and that's all you can ask for as a young artist, right? It's just people in your corner. Yeah. This is so fun. Thank you. Hey, do you have a favorite rom-com, Terry?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I like movies like The Wedding Crashers. I don't know if those count as a rom-com.
Sure.
Okay.
It's like guy com, right? It's like a guy romantic comedy. But I would totally
I like
count
that kind of humor.
I'm not surprised at all. That's fantastic.
Thanks, Pete.
Thank you so much for your flexibility tonight. Have a great rest of your Valentine's Day night. And
You too.
Keep bringing this awesome music. We just love it. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. And happy Valentine's Day to all the listeners and the YouTube watchers, Facebook, all of that good stuff. Enjoy Kaylin Cole. I can't wait to hear her.
We have you to thank. Thanks so much, Terry. Have a great night.
You
All right,
too.
that's Terry BARR, Bar Band Friday night, and it's not over yet. We have a special guest coming up soon, who is Kaylin Cole, and she's going to be here with one of her special guests, Lexi Liu. They're coming up in just a few minutes. Conrad, I think this is funny. Talk about a movie that's or a holiday that's ripe for a rom-com. And one of my favorite Hollywood personas, Gary Marshall, made this film called Valentine's Day in 2010, and it was pretty bad.
It's an awful film.
It's like got like 18% on Rotten Tomatoes. But before I even knew what Rotten Tomatoes was, I knew this was a bad film because I saw it. And we thought, though, we would clip some of this and just play a sampling of the film. So here is a clip. Is there anything else we need to set up?
It's Taylor Swift.
It's Taylor Swift. Okay, that's all you need to know. Taylor Swift from Valentine's Day, back when she was an actress.
I think we should just, enjoy this time.
Yeah, okay, good.
Did you like your gift?
I didn't open it yet.
You need to open it!
Wow, it's my track shirt.
Yeah, but I ironed on your lucky number on the back. 13.
But that's your lucky number.
You don't even like it.
No, I love it. I can't wait to wear it.
Try it on now, then.
Now?
Yeah.
Well, a little uncomfortable taking my shirt off in public. But hey, I'll wear it later, okay? Are you gonna carry it around all day?
Shut up! Let's go see if this fits in my locker.
All right.
That was Taylor Lautner, by the way.
The Taylors.
And she was carried around a gigantic teddy bear.
Listen, she's one of my exes. I'm not going to disparage her on this show.
I didn't know. I just thought you interviewed her. I didn't know she was an ex.
Well, it was a gray area. There was an age difference. Nothing weird. I mean, she's always been a talented person. So,
Does Travis Kelce know about this?
Yeah, he's on a need-to-know basis. He doesn't need to know everything. That's Valentine's Day. Check it out if you're looking for something to rent tonight and you are easily amused. Check out Valentine's Day starring Taylor Swift, Jessica Alba, Kathy Bates, Taylor Lautner, and Jessica Biel.
And so before Terry left, she said, Valentine's Day, the film is terrible.
Yeah. And she also said this. I missed this from Terry. PJ said one of my favorite rom-coms is Big, starring Tom Hanks.
Love
and that's
that
a fun
movie.
film. Yeah,
Great
definitely.
movie.
And then Terry said fun film, PJ. She agreed with him. But then she said also saved a guy's life in a plane crash. I don't know. Was that for the quiz?
No, that was, well,
or is she talking about Sully?
I don't know.
We should have asked her while she was here. All right, so coming up Monday, folks, we have another really fun show. Matt Miller will be here. We're making radio history again on Nightlight. I don't know how we do this week after week, night after night, but we have two Matts on the same show. Don't ask me how I did it, folks. We're making radio history. This has never been done before, to the best of my knowledge. Matt Miller, Milwaukee film critic, will be here, and local hip-hop artist from Northeast Wisconsin, Matt Harper. He's been on the show before, and he is great. So he'll be in the studio. Can't wait. Here's another Valentine's Day suggestion for you. Michael Bolton's Big Sexy Valentine's Day Special. Just look it up online. He's like barely covered in a red blanket. 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, okay, whatever. We're coming up next. We have Kaylin Cole in studio. It's pre-recorded. We'll be back Monday. Stay tuned for Kaylin Cole. She is fantastic. Happy Valentine's Day.
How much do you commit yourself? It's my love. Don't you forget. It's my love. It never
You're listening to the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW, home for Nightlight with Pete Schwaba.
Your news, conversations, and a whole lot of fun. It's all on your local Civic Media radio station or the Civic Media app.
For 97.9 WGBW News, I'm Lisa Hale. Wisconsin Democrat Tammy Baldwin took to the floor of the U.S. Senate Thursday to oppose the nomination of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to lead the Department of Health and Human Services. Baldwin says RFK not only does not believe in the science, but he's willing to actively undermine it. She said he spreads dangerous conspiracy theories and puts the health and safety of families at risk. Wisconsin's Republican Senator Ron Johnson voted in favor of the nominee, and Kennedy was confirmed in a 52-48 vote. Former Majority Leader Mitch McConnell of Kentucky was the only Republican to vote no. Even though some conditions are less than optimal right now, Kewaunee and Brown counties are opening some snowmobile trails today. Enthusiasts are asked to be careful due to wind-blown areas and poor conditions that could include water holes, slush, icy patches, thin ice, and drifting snow. Craft breweries who use cans are getting crushed by tariffs. Brittany Merlot tells us more.
President Donald Trump's newly announced tariffs, a blanket duty of 25% on all steel and aluminum imports, are expected to negatively affect the nation's craft brewers by driving up the cost of critical materials used to brew, house, and serve their beer. And these potential hits are landing at an unwelcome time for the industry, so prices will probably go up. Sales data for beer and aluminum cans accounted for approximately 75% of craft breweries' packaged volume and revenue, and a good number of those beer cans aren't made in the U.S. and come from Canada. In terms of steel, Canada and Mexico account for nearly 40% of what the U.S. imports. And the new tariffs, set to take effect on March 12th, are forecasted to raise producer prices for steel and aluminum by 15 to 20% in the coming months. This could cost consumers an extra $8 billion a year.
I'm Lisa Hale, 97.9 WGBW News. For news anytime, log on to WGBW.FM.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. Forever Bros, Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes are coming under fire from Kansas City Chiefs fans for having a double date with their best girls, Taylor Swift and Brittany Mahomes, fairly certain it was in that order, just 24 hours before the Super Bowl. What? Word on the street is that Taylor Swift ordered a huge Kobe burger and French fries, and according to Chiefs fans on social media, that could be exactly why the Chiefs laid an egg in front of a worldwide audience while trying to three-peat. No idea what Kelsey and Mahomes had to eat, but after seeing the way they played during the big game, I'm guessing it had lots of tryptophan. Irate Chiefs fans, most of whom I'm guessing probably never played in a Super Bowl, disapproved of the double date, insinuating that said date and hanging with girls so close to the big game was obviously the reason the Chiefs lost. If only Kansas City sports fans provided the two football players with this information beforehand. It just seems like a no-brainer to me. You can't eat 2 days before the big game. There's nothing funnier than irrational sports fans. For more showbiz fun, tune in to Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
You can always continue the conversation on social media. Share your thoughts when you find and follow Civic Media on Facebook, X, and Instagram.
With your forecast, I'm Corey Hartman. Snow tonight could be heavy at times. We'll see a low around 19 and about 3 to 5 inches of snow is possible before it wraps up tomorrow. Highs near 30 on your Saturday. Winds will be gusting. Saturday night, another inch or two of snow and windy again.
It's 21 right now.
Mino and the mayor.
Well, I think everybody's been there because he was sitting there for the longest time. So I just gave him a little beep, and it was green.
Yeah.
I could see he was vaping. It was meant on his vaping thing. And then all of a sudden, he rolls his window and gives me the bird. So I'm trying to get his attention so he can see that I'm giving him the finger too, but I couldn't get my window down.
And you wanted to make sure he could see it.
I was waving to him like, hey, hey. Yeah, exactly.
Mino and the mayor, weekday morning 6 till 9 on 97.9 WGBW and 98.3 and 96.5 WISS and the Civic Media app.
Carmelo Anthony for the Bail Project.
Bad news, you've been arrested. Good news, you're innocent until proven guilty. If you can pay your bail, good news, you go home to wait your trial. If you can't, sorry, you go to jail to wait. But sure, you still presumed innocent. But since you can't afford bail, you've lost your freedom. That's not right. And that's why the Bail Project helps those who can't afford it while fighting to end cash bail. Because freedom should be free.
Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Jane Matnair and Greg Bach.
Coming up on the show, are you exhausted, tired?
Hey, this is John Legend, and you're listening to Nightlight with Pete Schwaba.
Gonna be some sweet sounds coming down on the night shift. I bet you're
There's going to be some
singing
sweet sounds right here in the studio. Welcome back to Nightlight, folks. This is hour number 2. This is an extended bonus episode of Bar Band Friday Night. My next guest and her guest, who are in the studio here, Kaylin Cole and Lexi Lou, I was made aware of these two talented musicians from Terry Bar on a Bar Band Friday Night, probably about 6 months ago. So the fact that we get to do this little bonus segment on Bar Band Friday Night and actually have these girls in here in the studio to perform is so fantastic. So it is my pleasure to welcome to Nightlight Kaylin Cole and Lexi Lou. Hi.
Thank you. Hi, Pete.
This worked out so well.
I know.
I
I love
mean,
it when life does that.
Once in a while, things fall into place, and it's
Yeah.
fantastic. So I thank you to Jimmy and everyone at Max Inc. for alerting me to your presence here in Green Bay tonight. You're a long way from home.
Yes.
But you're playing here locally tonight. So let's get that out of the way. If people want to hear you here and then go hear you live tonight, they can do that.
Yeah, perfect. Well, Lexi Lou and myself are playing a duo show at Black Saddle Tavern in Oasis, which is just right down the road here in downtown Green Bay from 8:30 to 12:30 tonight.
8:30 to 12:30.
Yeah. Valentine's Day.
That's
Woohoo.
Do you sing romantic songs?
We might.
Yeah.
Hey, we're there to be everyone's jukebox. We'll play
Yeah.
whatever they want to hear.
That's kind of what we
they're
say.
gonna love
so,
that.
Yeah.
Do you have favorites that people request? Are there common ones that you guys probably know, like the back of your hand?
People love like Stevie Nicks from us,
Yeah.
and they like the girls like Joan Jett, and they like Gretchen Wilson and things like that.
Nice.
But we like to like keep them on their toes and throw in some like TLC and some cool things.
Oh, and you got originals too.
Yes.
So
Yes,
and your
plethora.
originals are great. So
Thank you.
how do you balance that? Do you start with originals, then mix in some covers, or what's
I
the
would
procedure?
say we just kind of feel out the crowd and the energy and what people are feeling. And, if they want to hear something new, sometimes people will put a couple dollars in the bucket and ask us to sing an original song, which,
nice.
always strokes the ego a little bit, you know?
That feels really good.
Yeah. So.
All right, so tonight you're at the Black Saddle here in Green Bay. That's
Yeah.
just down on Washington Street,
Mhm.
and that's at 8:30 to 12:30. And then tomorrow night is Paradise North Distillery, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Same deal, 8:30?
It's around 6 to 9, so it's more where,
Okay.
the families can come out
Yeah.
to the distillery and hang out and get some food and enjoy the music.
You can be home in bed at a respectable hour.
Exactly.
And that's what the music business is all
Yeah.
about, right?
Yeah, totally.
Well, it's great to have you guys here. Okay, so I saw on Instagram, Lexi, when I was doing my research earlier, or I'm
Yes,
sorry,
sir.
Kaylin, you just made the decision to go full-time with music.
Yeah.
Like about 6 months ago?
Yeah.
That's kind of scary, but how's it going?
It is scary, and I have a great support system in Nashville in order to do that. So
Okay.
I've got a lot of people like Lexi who have been doing music full-time for quite a while now. And so I was kind of teetering back and forth on, I don't know if I should do it. I'm comfortable at my job. I had a corporate job at the time with benefits and the whole nine, But I was like, I didn't move to Nashville to work a corporate job. I could
Right.
move to, I could move back home to Wisconsin and have a corporate job. But it was taking away from the creative process as an artist. You
Right.
do the cover gigs, you do what you can, and that's fun, but it's also work. However, the creative and really fun part where you can let go is writing and creating with people, and that was kind of steering me away from that. And so I had to choose, and I chose music. So
what do you, are you saying you'd work all day, you'd be tired, and you're like, I
Yeah.
don't feel like writing right now, so
Yeah.
I'm just going to do Shake It Up Again tonight or whatever, something like that, then you just
Exactly.
fall into that rut?
Well, you kind of fall into that rhythm, but you also aren't challenging yourself because you are putting so much energy 8 hours a day into something else that
right.
does not pertain to your music at all. So
Did you hear that growing up? Have a fallback. Have a fallback.
Always.
How
Kinda.
And you've been doing this for a long time, Lexi. You've been
yeah.
at this for, did you say 12 years you've been in Nashville?
Yes, and I started busking on the streets because I couldn't find any gigs on the
Wow.
in the downtown bars, and I did that for 3 years. Honestly, I would have rather have stayed doing that if I didn't. The cops started hassling us with the noise ordinance laws and
Yeah.
having speakers
wow,
down
no
there.
kidding.
And I tried for permits and stuff for a little while, but I needed cash too because I had a lot of bills from school.
Sure. And if you're not doing what you really want to do,
Right.
if you're putting all this time into filing or whatever, that makes good sense. So I applaud you for
Thank
making
you.
the plunge and for you of making a go at it for this long, Lexi. That's
Thank you.
fantastic.
She's been a great mentor,
yeah.
if anything. So
Well, thank you.
yeah.
Before we hear a song, how long have you been in Nashville, Kaylin? And how long do you miss Madison? Was Madison a good launching point that you outgrew? Why did you make the decision to go to Nashville?
I definitely did not outgrow Madison, but I do love some of the venues there, like Gamma Ray Bar. They are a new bar that really support independent artists in Madison, and a couple of other places like Red Rooster Inn. I'll be playing there sometime in the spring. But I actually have one person to thank a lot for all opportunities that I started getting in Wisconsin, and that's Derek Ramneris. And he is locally in Baraboo right now, but he plays, his band Old Soul Society play all over the state.
Okay.
And they actually play Mila Music up here in Appleton almost every year for the past couple years. And he helped me get this foundation back home. And I feel like a lot of artists overlook and undervalue their platforms back home. They all rush to get to Nashville, right? And they kind of leave their hometowns behind a little bit, but you have to remember those are the people that made you.
Right.
So those are the people that started you and gave you opportunities. And it's always good to come back and feed into that too.
That's
and,
great.
And I love to see my family back here. My boyfriend's up here, so I like to, come
That's
back
a convenient
and enjoy.
relationship.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. I like to come back for that.
No,
so.
it's what you say is absolutely right. Like you have to learn somewhere and make your mistakes,
Mhm.
and it's okay to do that in a smaller place where you can screw up, and it's not a meaningful gig that's going to make or break your career. So
Mhm.
I would imagine Madison was a great place to get started.
And I would think Lexi would also kind of feed into this a little bit, but don't you think Nashville's just really good for networking and like especially the writing aspect?
Oh, definitely. I feel that if songwriting is one of your main goals of your career, that Nashville is or any of the major cities, depending upon which genre you're writing music for, you know, Nashville, LA, New York, but to be in those cities and to be surrounded by other people doing what you're doing is not only inspiring, but it's kind of a vital, you know, point of the networking process of making it, you know?
Absolutely. And you get invigorated being around other creative people too,
Oh,
right? It helps you raise your game. And
it does.
It does. It really does.
Yeah,
Keeps you on your toes.
rather than like, you know, looking at it as like jealousy or it's better to level up with it, right? With the people around you.
Right.
And you just keep leveling each other up, and that's a fun thing to see.
Beautiful thing.
Yeah.
You guys gonna play something?
Yeah.
I mean, we definitely can.
I've heard the word on the street is that you have a new song.
I do. Yes. I actually dropped it today.
Whoa.
So, yeah.
Do you feel comfortable doing that? Or you
Yeah.
well, you guys do whatever you want.
Let's
I'm
do
just
it.
thrilled you're here. So
Well, thank you, Pete. Yeah, it's called Me This Time, and funny enough, Lexi is one of the writers on this.
Nice.
Same with Brian Dolloway and myself. We just kind of wanted to write a bluesy, funky tune.
Cool.
And, yeah. So
Kaylin Cole and Lexi Lou here in the studio at Nightlight. Me This Time is the song.
I've been kicking myself for the choices I made. We both made mistakes, but I'm trying to change. I thought all the wrongs I could turn right. There were too many lies I couldn't help you hide. Oh, but I gotta say goodbye and pack up all my stuff in the mess that was us. Gotta cut all these ties, 'cause I'm picking me this time. Oh, yeah. Well, it's been so hard letting you go, making up my mind when my heart still cries. Oh, 'cause I gotta say goodbye and pack up all my stuff in the mess that was us. Gotta cut all these ties, 'cause I'm picking me this time. Yeah. Goodbye to the illusions. I can see straight through 'em. Ain't got no more time for excuses. I choose healing, a new beginning. Made a choice, you're no longer my weakness. I finally said goodbye and packed up all my stuff in the mess that was us. Was the best choice of my life when I finally said goodbye and packed up all my stuff in the mess that was us. Gotta cut all these ties, 'cause I'm picking me this time. This time. Yeah.
That was great.
Thank you.
Excellent. It is so nice to finally have singers in the studio who have a better voice than me. So that was great. Great song. Nice self-empowering kind of rebound song, maybe? Is that kind of a...
Yeah, so I recorded something and released it last year called See You Tonight. And it's another bluesy piece. And it's kind of a response song to that one because that one's all about like, oh, I know I'm not really meant for this relationship that I'm in, said relationship, but I'm going to go and see them anyways and use my energy towards that when you know you're not supposed to. And so this one's kind of like a rebuttal to that. And it's like, no, I'm going to choose myself this time. It's okay to be selfish. You got to pick yourself up first before others. So, yeah.
Where do you write better? Wisconsin or Nashville? We just talked about how it's kind of invigorating being in Nashville.
Yeah.
Where do you find more inspiration?
I don't know. I think I find more inspiration in Nashville. I know there's like the hustle bustle of the big city and everything, but it is just, there's a plethora of creativity there and a lot of hungry musicians that want to create. And so, I mean, there might be here in some parts of Wisconsin, definitely in Madison, bigger cities, but I think it's just easier to find those types of people in Nashville.
Yeah.
So.
Personally, I think that my favorite type of writing, Nashville is a great source. I agree.
Yeah.
But also when you take some people from Nashville or from, that are all like-minded for that want to write songs and you go and do like a songwriter's retreat out at a destination somewhere.
Yeah.
I've found that a lot of magic happens on those trips. You get a lot of great songs and stuff when all the same people are there to do the same thing.
That's so cool. Lexi, you have a new song coming out, too. We can talk about that next.
Yeah.
We're going to do a very short break, and then we'll see if we can get these guys to perform maybe one more song in a short segment. They're helping me close down Nightlight here tonight. It's Lexi Lou and Kaylin Cole on Nightlight with Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network.
And it breaks my heart when a teardrop falls. I want to cry, cry, cry alone. When you're feeling blue, I'm waiting just for you. Someone's living for their love. Someone's living for their love.
From Ashwaubenon to Alloway, this is 97.9 WGBW.
Are record energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? With limited incomes not keeping up with the lingering effects of inflation, you might be one of tens of thousands of Wisconsin residents who are struggling to survive in the blistering heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter. While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today and call 1-800-506-5596. That's 800-506-5596. Or visit www.kwwf.org.
I'm Dan Schaefer. Let's recombobulate. Believe it or not, it is once again time for Wisconsinites to head to the polls and vote. I know, we all have a bit of election fatigue after 2024, but the spring election primary is coming up on Tuesday, February 18th. One race that will be on every ballot statewide for the spring primary is for state superintendent. Incumbent Jill Underly is seeking another term, and two candidates are challenging her. Jeff Wright, superintendent for Sauk Prairie Schools, and Brittany Kinzer, an education consultant and former charter school executive. Kinzer's candidacy, in particular, is gaining steam. Her campaign reported raising more than $500,000, far more than what Underly or Wright have brought in. With that type of financial support, this could prove to be a more competitive race for state superintendent than what we've seen in quite some time. This is becoming a real race to watch.
Welcome back. We are in the throes of hour number 2, ladies and gentlemen, broadcasting live statewide from beautiful downtown Green Bay. We have in the studio here 2 incredible musicians, Kaylin Cole, who Terry BARR introduced us to your music a few months ago. And I know you're no stranger to Max Inc. Radio, which is such a great show.
I know, I love them.
And Lexi Lou joining you here in Wisconsin. What do you think of Wisconsin?
Hello. I have mixed feelings. We'll talk about that later.
Off the air, maybe?
Yeah. I don't
Not
know.
before a show, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
All she wants to do, though, is build an igloo.
All I wanted to do is build an igloo. But it's supposed to snow tonight, so...
It's supposed to snow bad.
Yeah, so maybe she might
maybe
get
we can
that.
build an igloo.
You might want to get started on that.
Yeah.
I hope they're
Does
putting
it
you
take
up
a
somewhere.
while?
I think so.
I don't know. I'm an igloo novice.
Yeah.
So, who are your influences? Both of you. I'd like to ask you that question. Like, who do you?
Yeah, some of my greatest influences would be Pink and Chris Stapleton.
Okay.
You know, I love the musicianship and the showmanship of Pink, and as well as her songwriting and just her boldness.
Yeah.
And then Chris Stapleton is just an idol. You know, I love his bluesiness and his guitar licks and his lyrics are just, you know, him. Jason Isbell would also be another
he's
one.
great. Yeah.
Who's great like that.
I love that.
You guys are in Nashville. Pink is more of a pop, rock,
Yeah.
hard driving.
Well,
She's kind of a baddie, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm working on my debut album right now. It's titled Weirdly Wired. And, you know, it's not going to be just one genre. It's going to be a little pop, a little classic rock, some blues, some country. Just good music, I think, is good music, you know?
Totally.
Yeah.
Where
Doesn't
can
matter the
people
genre.
follow you, Lexi?
Yeah, on all social medias
Okay.
at Lexi Lou Music. And,
Lewe.
You know, it's Lexi Lew.
Lew. That's what.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. I would have to say my influences is definitely Chris Stapleton.
Love it.
But I would say Adele as well. I love
Okay.
Adele.
I can hear
And
that,
the
yeah.
CCM country, Christian contemporary music artist, Lauren Daigle.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love her. So
Okay.
she's awesome.
Her control.
Yeah, I know. It's
So
insane.
good. Yeah.
But though, I think those
It's
are mine.
total inside baseball talk. I love when you guys get down in that place
Yeah.
where nobody else can tell what
We're
you're
in the
saying.
nitty-gritty. the way the vocal cords do this.
Yeah.
That's funny because the first time I heard you, when Terry brought your music, I thought I heard a little bit of Sheryl Crow.
Sheryl Crow.
But I couldn't tell.
I've heard that
you know,
before, though.
Have you?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
She's a rock star.
Yeah.
Kaylin Cole and Lexi Lou are in the station. They're playing tonight at the Black Saddle, right down the street here in Green Bay. If you're in downtown Green Bay, go to the Black Saddle, 8:30 to 12:30. And then tomorrow night, it's at the Paradise. I can't even read my own writing.
Paradise North
Distillery.
Yeah.
Two cool names. I don't
Yeah,
know
I
much
know,
about
right?
the venues, but those are great bar names.
Yeah.
So I don't think you
I
can
think
go
so,
wrong.
too.
Okay. So are the audiences different?
Yes. Black Saddle.
Yes.
Like between the two, you
Well,
think?
I just mean like, you know, you're from Wisconsin, you've been in Nashville.
Mhm.
When you play there and you've got what I would assume are jaded music fans,
Yeah.
are they tougher to please? Are they more forgiving? Or how are the audiences different?
Most definitely tougher to please. That's for sure.
Okay.
Well, because the main thing that the city was based on was music and built on was music, and so when people go down there, they expect music, you know.
Yeah.
And if you know, so Broadway is always busy, but you know they have a lot of writers' rounds which debut original music. So I would say original music is more valued down there, but people up here just love music in general.
Yeah.
And so it's always so much fun to come back. And, you know, people are just so kind here and they love listening to music and having a good time and just partying.
Agreed.
So.
I don't know if people realize, but downtown Broadway now is so overrun with the amount of stages at any given time. I mean, I'm not exaggerating. There's between 300 and 1,000 people,
Wow.
you know, playing on a stage in the downtown area, and that's within a 5-block radius.
Yeah,
That's
it's pretty
fantastic.
crazy.
You know,
You guys-
three stages per bar. There's, you know, 5 bars on every block
Yeah.
on each side now.
And it's never like it's sometimes a duo, but it's mainly full band. So that's, you know, 5 to 7 people.
You guys, this is so much fun. Added bonus coverage of our Bar Band Friday night. So great to
Yeah.
have you guys here. Check out these awesome musicians. Please don't be a stranger if you're back in Green Bay.
We'll
And
never be.
Crush it tonight. Crush
Thank
it
you.
tomorrow
Thank
night.
you.
Break a leg. And I'd like to thank all my guests tonight. Emerson Lehman, Terry BARR for Bar Band Friday night, and
Terry.
Kaylin Cole and Lexi Lou. Great to have them in the studio. Thank you for all your calls and texts. And you guys are going to play us out now with something.
Yeah.
Right?
Lexi, what you got?
So I'm going to play you guys a song you can find everywhere. It's called Day by Day. And this was my latest single. So
Day by Day with Kaylin Cole, Lexi Lou. Good night, Wisconsin.
Yesterday can float away. Ain't no shame in taking it day by day. It's such a beautiful day. I'll pull a chair up, sit down by the lake, throw a line in the water, watch a barber sing. With all my worries, I ain't in no hurry to fix the past that's gone, but I'm here today. Not really sure what tomorrow holds, but it'll be better than yesterday. I don't know where it goes, but I go with the flow, then everything will be okay. Taking it day by day, taking it day by day. I don't need a clock on the wall. I'll count my time by the sun and the stars. As sure as a leaf in the autumn fall.